Welcome to Black Women Heal Show. We here for you. Thank you for tuning in, downloading, watching. You better effing subscribe right now and or follow whatever platform you're watching. Ladies, say hello to the goddamn family. This
Y'all know
evening.
what's up, what's going on?
Y'all.
Whenever you're listening.
What's up? Back with another one.
Skirt. Remix. Okay. Listen, you guys. It's a pleasure to be here with you all. We love you. It's almost 6 months we've been together. If you're new here, welcome to the shit show.
Welcome.
And we appreciate you as well. We hope you stick around for the whole episode and go back and listen to all the other ones, okay? Thank you. Appreciate you. So guess what, you guys? We have our first, probably won't be our last, 2-star review. Took us 4 whole months to get one, you guys. Sheena, please read this 2-star review. We told you we was going to keep it 100 with you guys, so we're going to read it. Even though it's not 4 and 5 stars, we still going to read it, okay?
Okay. So it says, too much clowning and profanity. It says, these girls are insightful. This show could be helpful and enlightening, as I am sure was the main purpose, but the profanity is so unprofessional and unnecessary, it ruins the show. Pick a lane, typical ghetto acting, black and ratchet, or insightful, intelligent, and respected.
Why can't we be all of those things? I don't understand. Don't put us in a box.
First of all, go to the description of the show.
Please, somebody please read the description.
First.
Sheena, read them the description. Read the description, Sheena. Come on, let's remind the family what our description.
I gotta go to Apple for that. Hold up.
I got it pulled up. Somebody please read the description, because if you're new here, let us remind you what the description is if you didn't take the moment to do so.
Plain.
Because maybe, I don't know, maybe we need to change it or something. I don't know what else we got to put on it, but
we probably need to make it bold, highlighted, italicized.
We need to do something.
But I think sometimes people see the heal part and they think it's going to be like Nam Yo Horenge cure and stuff.
Right. Like we're healing.
Like healing like that.
Multi-faced, it is 2021. Please stop trying to put us in a lane, because we in every motherfucking lane in this bitch. Okay?
All the lanes.
All of them.
All
now,
the
lanes. To the tutor.
But I think we addressed this before. People that curse is some of the realest people out here, and that's a proven fact.
And the most intelligent ones.
Yep.
That part, Salida.
And we have a link to display that in the show notes. If you look in the show notes today, you'll see a link from a study done by some people that's not Black. Maybe you'll believe them, and since you don't believe us, it'll be in the show notes.
Let the white person tell you.
Yeah. You guys believe them.
Right.
So it's in there. We got 3 show notes in there for you for tonight's episode, and that's one of them. Is about profanity and its use by demographic, race, and all those things. And the study basically said that it didn't matter how often or how much somebody cursed, it did not deflect from their overall vocabulary range. In the study, they had people list as many words unrelated to profanity as they could, and people that they found cursed the most had the widest of vocabularies. They just chose to use those profanity words to express passion.
It's
right. Like Bernie Mac.
Shortcuts. Okay. Passionate little shortcuts.
All right. The podcast description, you guys.
Discussing all of life's bullshit. I mean, can we just stop right there? Okay. First and foremost, there's cursing in here about 1, 2, 3 times. Okay. So if you would have read that, you probably would have stopped right at bullshit and just said, you know what? Fuck this shit. This ain't the one.
Exactly.
Okay.
And clearly.
Go ahead and finish reading, Sheena. Come on. Please.
It says, bullshit while trying to stay grounded. The honest, no holds barred, raw and uncut friends and millennial aunties you need to feel less alone. But we keep it 100 when you fuck up. Okay, that go to the second curse word.
100,000.
Your hosts are Cheyenne, Sheena, Salida, Ashley, and Mo, a group of Black women who grew up in the same hometown, a safe space created for Black women to be themselves, share unique perspectives, experiences, and wisdom. Connect with the aunties. And it has our social media handles and all that good stuff at the bottom.
What was the key word? Themselves.
Themselves.
Okay.
Selves. So
That's
we
it.
are ourselves, which every last one of us curse. Okay.
Every last
I
one.
will come out of meditation and say fuck. Okay. If I
Look, we
fucking
go
feel
into
like
meditation.
it's
We go into it
necessary.
with
Yes.
these motherfuckers ain't gonna get
I
me today,
might be
God.
thinking
Please.
curse words in my head.
So the
But-
next
On
one.
to the listeners.
All right, so
Okay.
so Salida Elos Dinos, read us our top cities and states, please.
She kills me with that every time.
I have to do it. She's just one letter, two
Like,
letters
hold,
away
please.
from Selena. I have to do it like all the time.
I know. Not
The Dinos and
Commission.
Selena's cats. Okay, she got 2 cats.
So for the month of August, Texas was number 1
Can y'all believe
with
this here?
3.
they
California.
do it big in Texas.
Texas do it
Everything
all the way
big
through.
in
Oh my!
Texas.
It's
And Georgia was
on the
next.
road again. Georgia,
States tour.
Texas, California, Georgia.
California.
You can send me some of that
Okay,
Cali
the
weed
South-
any
Illinois.
day.
The
Okay.
South
In
showing
Illinois,
love.
I'll
okay.
give you my P.O. box.
Southside
Yeah.
GA.
She said the
Ship
P.O.
me
box.
some weed. Cali weed is the best
Yes,
weed.
it is.
Yes, it
Got
is.
that in the whole college
Woo.
career. Was
Child.
I'm
between
gonna have to live
Cali
that. I don't
and
know. I'm
Boston.
living vicariously through y'all.
I've
Best
never been to
trees ever.
Boston.
Best trees at the time ever. They had that thrax. Remember anthrax? They had
Yeah.
that
Yes.
thrax.
Oh, I know that shit
Thrax.
had to be fire.
Canada was Jamaica, then
Okay,
France,
Jamaica.
and then
Oh.
Italy.
We
We
trying
like
to
them
come
things.
down.
We like them things.
Wine
Yes,
it.
we like them things.
Send me some organic cannabis. I'll take that too.
Things. She got them things. I like how y'all say team. And shit.
We go on one.
So,
Right.
Yeah, come give me
Parlez-vous
something.
français?
All types of things.
France, we here for you, baby. All our French brothers, sisters, nieces,
and
nephews,
the
who love
last
we here
one
for
was
you.
Italy.
Italy, yes. All right, you guys. So
Alright,
in lieu of our 2-star review this week, it got our minds a little joggled, and we began thinking. It sound real bougie for y'all for a minute since we got to pick a lane and shit tonight, right?
Smoke with my pinky up.
Right. Smoke with your pinky, Yoshina.
Hold on, let me.
Let me drink my wine with my pinky out.
Yeah,
My
there you go,
glasses.
Ash.
Yes.
We're
Let me fix
bougie
my
right now.
glasses.
Hold on, I can't even do it.
I
Too much
cannot.
thinking
There you go,
involved.
Selena.
Look. Yes, there you go. That's the one.
Okay.
I was thinking to like,
Profanity.
okay, so some of us watch content on YouTube and some of us prefer audio and some of us listen to it either way, depending on what we're doing at the time, right? So for me, I listen to a lot of wide range of shows about different topics, right? And some of them about white women, white men, you know, whatever, all different nationalities. And so what I find is that these shows where the white girls or being able to be themselves and say the things and do the things on their show. But as soon as a Latino or Black girl do it, she's too fucking promiscuous. She's too, she's using too much profanity. She's too vulgar. She's too all of these things. And I just really, it's just not right, you guys. It's not. And so that's why today's topic title is Black Girl, you know you can't do that. Why? Because somebody gonna always fucking judge us. Gonna tell us what we can't do, what we can't wear, what we can't say, what we can't say, what we can say, when we should say it. Should we ever fucking say it? I don't know. You know, are we gonna get fired for saying this shit?
Right.
You know, am I gonna lose my job if I come in here with some locks, you know? Or are they not gonna hire me because I'm too dark skinned or I don't look exotic
the
enough?
part.
But they call us when they call us exotic when we don't look like we all Black. Like, you look a little exotic. Are you from Barbados or some
bitch.
shit? No.
I'm from
Here.
Baltimore.
So that's why the title is the way it is. Thank you, friend, for leaving a 2-star review because you've given us a lovely episode idea. Black girl, you know you can't do that. But we all know that yes, the fuck we can. And yes, the fuck we are. And that is
And we
why we're here.
taking up space. All the damn space.
That's what code switching is, which is what baffled me a little bit about the comment about the review, because it's like, don't we all code switch a little bit, like depending on where we are and who we're with? Like, isn't that the purpose of being able to be a chameleon and adapt to any situation? Not saying that we're not being ourselves, but this is just another side of who I am. This is not the totality of me. And so that's why we created Black Women Heal. Like, I know y'all get confused when y'all see that heal part in the title. We healing, but we just have a different way of doing it. So some people need the kumbaya, the sage all the time and all that stuff, but we not that. Welcome to Black Women Heal. We not that. This is not no ASRM. This is not no sleep meditation podcast.
Definitely not.
This is the way we converse with each other offline, and these are the conversations that we're already having offline. So why not make a show that everybody can connect with and find community with? And I think Friend just maybe listened to 1 or 2 episodes and didn't get it, and didn't get what we were doing. Maybe she didn't read the maybe she didn't read the description. She should have read the description first before hitting download instead of just looking at the name of the show. Honestly, because we are not going to use the word heal in our show description, because that's what the F we're doing. We're talking about topics that we need to heal from as a collective and individuals. So y'all tell me if I'm wrong, ladies. I don't know, but Black girl, you can do that. You can do that. You can do whatever you want, really. Don't let these people tell you you can't do it. Your dad, right? Don't let them tell you, no, you can't do that. Yes, the fuck you can, Black girl. You definitely can. And I think that's real important for our younger people coming behind us to know that you can do that. You can do that. You might have to modify it a little bit, but you can do that. What's that saying? You could be like nice, nasty at work when somebody piss you off. You don't have to cuss them out, but you could be a little nice, nasty. Like, okay, that's fine.
Per my last
email.
Boom. Yeah, pretty much.
Love
pretty
it.
much. Yeah. So there'll be a couple of
you referred to the training guide.
Right. Yes. It's above me now. You can go speak to Rob about it. It's above me now. Okay, Linda, thank you. Appreciate you.
Patricia.
Be well, beloved.
Yo.
Another one that Black girls use is be well, beloved. Like Iyanla Vanzant, Auntie Iyanla, she'd be like, be well, beloved.
Oh, yeah. Beloved. She kills me.
And in the South, they use bless your heart, bless her heart, or bless his heart. That's that nice.
Baby don't know no better.
Yeah,
right.
He a little touched. My grandmother used to say that.
Girl, when they say that, I'll be done. With the older people.
And so I wanted to pull up real quickly for you guys. It'll also be in the show notes and details before the ladies start commenting and gathering their thoughts about the experiences that they've had as children and adults. And it was based on a study done by 2 Asian ladies about the effects of the pressure that society puts on Black women. And the name of the article was
Get It Together.
The misunderstood schema of the strong Black woman, exploring its mental health consequences and coping responses among African American women. And the conclusion was that all this fucking pressure y'all be trying to put on us with this strong Black woman shit, and all of the expectations that people put on us, whether it's Black, whether it's brown people doing it, because brown people do it too, Latinos and South Asian people, they look down on us too sometimes. And basically all that pressure leads to PTSD for Black women. And it was part of their conclusion. So I have that linked. I'm not going to read any of it. Another one that I found was on the profanity part, and it's from social, psychological, and personality science. Frankly, do we give a damn? The relationship between profanity and honesty. And then the first one that I found was from an article from Ferris State University. I believe that's in Michigan. And it's from the Jim Crow Museum of Racist Memorabilia. And so there's memorabilia from movies and TV shows and depictions of Black women in society 50 years ago. Pam Grier was in it, and for her being, with her titties out, being strong Black woman, but always us being sexualized. The Mammy caricature, where it's the big Black woman with big lips, dark skin, and she was always a nanny. So it's just all these studies. So since you guys don't want to fucking do the search, I did the search for you guys, and it's going to be in the show details if you want to familiarize yourself with those things, and why we shouldn't be picking with each other. And standing together collectively, which we'll talk about in episode 2. But anyway, you guys, so like I said, today's title is Black Girl, You Know You Can't Do That. and we're dealing with societal pressures of Black women. You know that racism is part of the overly critical views of Black women in society, right? But what else do y'all think is the reason for that? Like, where else is it coming from? Because we are 50, 60 years down the road from Jim Crow era and when Martin Luther King was alive, and we should have progressed much further than we have as a nation, a society, and as a collective Black and brown community. But we are still dealing with the same shit, just a different day, just a different year. So are there other things that you guys think contribute to that viewpoint that people have about us? And I know you do, but I'm just going to ask the question anyway.
Of people's experiences, like firsthand, like other, friends, and they view that and they see how they may treat one another, because sometimes the best lesson is the actual physical experience, because it leaves an imprint. So it could be tone of voice, it could be like at the time and place that it happened. Just like they say, first impressions are a big one. So if there's an incident that happens, it's going to be imprinted on that. If they've never experienced someone that is Caucasian, say for instance, someone that's Caucasian and has Black friends, and being around them, and then they see how the interaction is, and if it's of a negative nature, it leaves an imprint. So then they'll have this assumption, this stereotype of, okay, so this is how it is. No, that was just something that happened with that particular family, but every Black person is not like that. So instead of just taking it for what they're seeing right there, is generally applied to everything else. So it's basically feeding the monster.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Yeah, I think part of it comes from the media as well. Just like the Jim Crow Museum of Racism that I was just speaking about, the media plays a large proportion as to why people see us the way we do. Because you think about people who live in states like Iowa, Idaho, North Dakota, South Dakota, been there all their life and never experienced Black people like us. I think it's a big culture shock. And you hear like people like celebrities, and I'll use his name for this particular episode because he speaks about it being raised by a white family, and that's Tommy Davidson. And he lived in the lily white town from the West Coast and then moved to DC, which is where he spent the remainder of his life. And he was saying how much of a culture shock it was. And it wasn't until they moved to DC that he really even realized that he was Black. And that was recently, within the last 2 years, that he came out with that publicly on a public platform and stuff. And I think the media definitely plays a big role in how the rest of the world sees us. Because remember back in the day, they used to always say, why the fuck they always get the most raggedy looking Black people when they do a news report? And of course, we
Right.
know sometimes in the neighborhood, it's you can't control that, but still, like, it's always this beat down, trodden version of who we are. And we as human beings were automatically going to think, well, that's the collective. Or police officers who are in the streets and ghetto communities, they go home and teach their sons and daughters about Black people based on their experiences with them at work, and never going to places where there are, 6 and 7 figure earning Black people that are not athletes or entertainers. You know what I'm saying? So that's my 2 cents on that one. And did you guys experience any of these stereotypes as kids?
Sometimes I think,
Yeah.
I got darker skin. They probably would think that I was ghetto or whatnot. I was always called kind of odd growing up because I was just different, socially awkward. So um, I don't know. I guess people would just make their assumptions about me just based off of how I look, color of my skin. So that would be one way. And then I get to talk and like, oh, she talks like she got some sense.
I asked that because I know that it's a lot of colorism, and I'm not light skinned and I'm not dark skinned, but I've experienced issues with colorism too from white people and even Latino people. I mean, when I was getting my cosmetology license, this was back in 08, 07. And this Latino lady at the hair salon I was working at, she was like, oh my God, you're so articulate. I'm like, okay, well, what did you expect otherwise?
Right. You're supposed to just be numb.
right. Like I'm like I guess she expected me to be more ghetto. That's just the vibe I got at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And this was a long time ago. So I know what I was feeling wasn't wrong because I still remember the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't just this instance where she just asked me where I was from. Like, oh, did you grow up in Baltimore or are you from here? Because where I was working,
Mm-hmm.
it was a real nice area at Howard County, you know. So um she didn't even like she was real open about it. Like she didn't even try to hide it really. And she was like, oh, you're so articulate, yada yada yada. Your parents did a good job with you. Like, where did you go to school? And I was like, I'm from here. I'm from Howard County and whatever. And you know, it just it can come from anybody. You know, this episode is
Yeah.
not just geared towards like European people, white people, stuff like that. It comes from all
Right.
over. South
Everybody.
Asian people, North Asian people, anybody who is not black, who had not had a whole lot of experience with us. When they meet certain kinds of women, certain kind of black women, and you're not what the media portrays you to be,
Mm-hmm.
it's like a shock. They
Yeah.
just can't even believe it
Like,
exists.
where you from? Who are you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's so
Yeah,
crazy.
it is
It's so
very crazy.
crazy.
Yeah, it really is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I experienced it playing volleyball. You
Mm-hmm.
know, being of the, being a thicker girl, society has this idea volleyball player, tall, lanky, be able to play front row and whatnot. I got judged a lot. So moving from Jersey to here, like fifth grade, and then end up getting into volleyball, people, no matter where I went to go play, I would always hear, "You're a volleyball player? You don't look like one." And they teased me bad because I was of the thicker version. What I couldn't make up in height, I made up in being strong. I was told on numerous occasions, high school, going just learning how to play, camp. Well, you can't do that. Oh, you can't play front row. You're not tall enough. You're not this. You're not that. If I wasn't who my parents raised me to be, I wouldn't have gotten to the point where in our years in high school, I was the only sophomore to go to playoffs with the varsity team. It was me because I could serve, made the paper a lot. But those people telling me that I couldn't do it, guess what? I fucking did it. Not only did do it once, I did it a bunch of times. And I did it so much that I helped my college team in Manhattan win the city championships. I am a weak side hitter. I'm only 5'4". So somebody telling me that I can't do something, I'm a bull. Guess what? I'm going to do the shit and make sure you watching if you got a camera or a video camera because you don't want to miss this.
Were there
And
things
that's
that you
something
guys
that
was
I
like,
took with me.
right? Were there ever times where your parents would be like, you don't do that, or you shouldn't say it like that, or you shouldn't speak this way when you go in this kind of environment because we don't want to give the wrong impression because it was predominantly going to be a white space that we were going to be in, and wasn't going to be as many black people, especially growing up in Howard County, right? Did you guys ever experience that with your parents coaching you per se?
Mm.
Nah,
Not
my
really.
mom.
My parents just said, "Be a leader, not a follower." If
Mm-hmm. My mom.
somebody's stealing, you walk out the store because if I gotta come get you, it's gonna be you and me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That was her rule. So I always stuck with that. So
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
parents would be like, "F them people, be you, speak how
Mm-hmm.
mm-hmm.
you feel," and y'all know my mama. Lord,
She is off the chain.
Mm-hmm.
Off the
like
chain.
she like, "F them people, they not
Right.
you. You go ahead with her little stuff. Go ahead and do that. Do
Right.
it."
Right.
Right.
Like, okay.
Well,
Yeah.
I got in trouble. I'm gonna tell you guys this. Y'all better keep it a secret. Don't y'all go tell nobody all over social media. Family. So look, we moved to Howard County in 1993, the year of our Lord 1993, and moving from Prince George's County. And I went to a private school in Prince George's County that was predominantly white, but it was still very diverse. And nowhere near as diverse as Howard County, but it was diverse because there were some sections of PG County, still is, that are very still white. And so when we moved to Howard County, it was a culture shock for me because there were so many white people. And I had never been around that many white people at, up until the age of 9 when we moved there. And because my birthday's late in the year, so I wasn't 10 yet, even though it was 93. Anyway, so when I went to summer camp, was it that summer or the following summer? It was that summer. Went to summer camp. No, it was the following summer. Went to summer camp, right? And one of the ladies, one of the girls that lived on our block, we had become friends with. She was white, one of my first white friends, my very first white friend, actually. And her parents smoked cigarettes. And so she brought cigarettes to the camp one day because she used to take hits of her parents' cigarettes, right? And so she shared it with the rest of us. It was like 5 of us in the bathroom stall at one of the parks, like Centennial Park or some shit, you guys. And freaking, we in there puff giving, right? And we get caught because another young lady comes in who is, rest in peace, she's no longer living. Is she still living? No, she's still alive. It's somebody else I'm thinking about. Anyway. And she goes back and tells her mother or either a counselor. But the next day, we all got in trouble for smoking in the bathroom. We went on our little field trip to the park.
Oh, man.
And so my mother come to pick me up, right? Look, my mother come to pick me up after they called and told her about everything and all that stuff like that. So my mother come pick me up. She got me outside of the school building at Deep Run. And she got me hemmed up on the wall and shit. She was like, "You goddamn, we just fucking moved here and you out here already doing this shit." She was like, "You embarrassing me in front of all these fucking white people."
Oh.
And she didn't say it verbatim like that because my mom is not like a big cusser. She was like, "You out here got me embarrassing me and all these white people. We just moved out here. And you've already getting involved in things you ain't had no business doing." She was like, "What is you doing smoking a cigarette any daggone way?" And I was like, "Well, Daddy used to smoke, It's kind of in my blood a little bit." She was like, "Get into the goddamn car." I was like, well, that's one of my, when Salita was talking, it just reminded y'all to my memory. Like, there's things like that we go through in life when we live in areas where there's a lot of white people and it's very diverse. And it's like, girl, you can't do that. You can't do what they do. Which, goes back to the title for today, the episode title and format of the conversation. It's like, Black girl, you can't do that. So my mom was like, girl, you can't do that. You can't do that. And you're not gonna embarrass me around all these white people. Okay, we just moved here. God damn it.
I know one thing we could never do that they could do. We could never wear shorts to school without getting sent home. It used to be like, see such and such with her shit on and such and such.
Especially in high school.
Her shit is
especially in high school.
I'm talking about what? Middle school, high school. See, I grew up around them, the whole shebang.
But you had a little booty though, Ashley. That's why too.
I understand why I couldn't, but I'm trying to see. They didn't have nothing going on.
No, but
you got your whole shit out. It's inappropriate.
Yeah. They definitely got on us Black girls about that kind of stuff more than dress code.
That's a huge thing, and I'm glad Ashley brought it up because it's the same thing even today in the workplace. And I'm like, that's body discrimination. You can't tell me that this person that's straight up and down could wear this, but when I wear it, everybody has to draw attention to what I'm wearing when it's the same thing. I can't help it if my legs are long. I can't help it if I have a little more curves. Like, that's body discrimination.
I'm saying,
and it happens a lot. It happens a lot.
Can't help it. She's a brick house. Told y'all that about 10 episodes ago. Okay.
When you have a certain shape, you cannot wear some of the same things. Somebody will look at you and be like, you need to go and take that off. Like, she got the same thing.
Because for y'all who are heavier chested women who have large breasts, it doesn't matter what you wear. It's going to always be seen as over sexualized. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because
look
your
like I'm
breasts
trying
are
to be
large.
sexy every goddamn day
Everything
of
you
my life. And it's just rough, okay?
Oh
Damn it.
I had to fight.
These big ass titties, okay?
My brother.
I'm trying to be sexy. I'm trying to be professional. Right. God damn it.
It doesn't matter what you wear.
I'm just trying to get this sale. That's it.
And that's what the media does. That's what the media does. And I'm sorry, but we play into that role too, because guess what? We got all these black women all over the internet twerking and shit at various places, twerking in a man's restaurant.
Like, we don't got they got them damn self twerking at a goddamn
I didn't mean
restaurant.
us literally, Ashley. Just talking about
no, but they no,
the black women
the
everywhere.
reason I say that though is because we all get lumped in as a collective. I'm not saying you're doing it, but you know what I'm saying? Society automatically will say that we are the same as those women.
Right, which is what we're basically talking about anyway.
Yeah,
right.
It was created by design.
You know what I'm saying? It's right. It's like, no, I ain't got nothing to do with that. I don't like to fraternize with that type of woman either. I don't want to put a color to it. I'm gonna put a behavior to it. I don't like to fraternize because there's all color races of women that do trashy shit like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Some of them get famous for doing it too.
Culture.
Exactly. So I'm just saying, period. I don't want to be associated with any race of woman that is performing and behaving in that way. I don't care what color her skin is. I don't want nothing to do with that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, especially when you get like over 30, it's like trying to put away some childish things.
Because it's like we just get lumped into a bunch of bullshit. Being a black woman, it's like a double negative. You're black, negative, and you're a woman, which to some people is considered a negative. So it's just like you fighting these two negatives all the time if you choose to. I mean, we're fighting it, but it's like, again, my empath ways, like I said before we even got on air, I withdraw from this type of negativity because it's like I can't be soaking up this type of shit. You know what I mean? Like, I talk to who I want to talk to, same type of people, same type of mind frame. It doesn't matter what color you are. I personally just don't feed into, like I said, I have a stance on it, but like I don't spend extra hours like, why do they do this or why? It just is what it is. But
I understand.
At the end of the day, because we do have the mic, literally, don't lump us in with every, you know what I mean? You don't lump in every white murderer or white negative societal member with the gang. You know what I mean? So don't do that to us. You know what I mean? As a people and as black women, as black people, you know, this happens to our people, period. But also,
right?
But black women.
You know, black women are one of the most disrespected women in America, and that's
why I said the double negative,
and that's by design. You know, culturally, as a whole, we don't know who we are. We were brought here, our culture was stolen, you know, and we don't know who we are. No other culture in this country gets disrespected like black people do. And the media further pushes this agenda because they removed the black fathers from the household. That was by design. When welfare came into the picture, you know, they couldn't have the man in the household, so the man had to leave. All of this stuff was created by design. And what happened is a lot of women black women started acting in masculine energy because they had to take care of the home, they had to take care of the kids, they had to take on all these different responsibilities. And naturally, we get labeled as the angry black woman, the strong black women. All of this stuff was created by design, and the media further pushes that agenda that has us looking in this certain light, and it's not a good light. But no other culture in America this happens to, because number one, we as a culture, we don't stick together at all. It's crab in the barrel. We don't stick up for each other like these other groups of people do. We don't.
Well, and it's always like a competition too, because like you see, I was just watching the show the other day and it reminded me of Us. And it was this show of a group of creatives and they were Black men. And this is a true story. And I'm not gonna say they handle, but they started out like us, everyday people with no ties to celebrityism, right? And they created this platform and now they're famous, right? And they put in the blood, sweat, and tears to do it. And they are where they are today. But Cheyenne is absolutely right. And I think us as women, we have the most difficulty doing it because men are very analytical and they're non-emotional. So when they come to do an effing job together, they come to do an effing job together. If they say they're going to create this business together, they're going to do it. They're going to fight each other along the way, and they're going to continue to move forward in the direction of the original vision. And they always refer back to that. And then, in speaking of terms of us Black girls, black women, and we can't do that. How many businesses do you know of by Black women that they created together? You can probably count maybe 10. If you go on Google and you search businesses created by Black women, founded by Black women together, it's probably maybe like 10.
Oh, I know several. I can say I know
like
several.
It's like I say 10. I say two hands. I say two hands worth. But if you go search that same, you go search that same criteria for white women or white men, they do shit together all the time. Asian men, South Asian men, North Asian men, South Asian men, especially like my husband, Asian people, period, they stick together.
But that's the thing. America is a melting pot of different cultures, right?
Sure.
However, other cultures that have came to this country, they still maintain their culture. Chinese, Japanese, all these different races of people, they maintain their culture. Black people don't know their culture
because it was stripped from us, like you said earlier.
It was stripped from us, and we don't know who we are. We are living European standards. We don't know who we are, and when you don't know who you are, you fall for anything because our reality is created for us. And that's what has happened all these years. Like our reality has been created for us, which we're learning today
to recreate.
99.9% of that reality is false. It's a mirror, it's a screen.
Smoke and mirrors.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
You're absolutely effing right. You're absolutely effing right. But you have an
advantage
that most of us.
But we're on point. Okay.
Yeah. And so, but here's the thing. Okay. Anytime there's a disagreement between us five, anytime there's a disagreement between us five, or we're trying to get through something, guess what? We don't curse each other.
No,
I've never.
We don't call each other names or any of those things. We just get to the issue and we find a freaking solution.
That's all.
As a collective,
what business is about.
And I watch men and I watch Omar do it. Like him and his people get together and they'll have a disagreement, like mother effer this, mother effer that, but they can do that as men because they don't get emotional.
Men are way different.
They are so hard with each other. I'll be like, they're not fighting.
Right. Yeah. They may not talk. They may not talk to each other for 2 days. I literally watch this stuff, you guys, because I'll get text messages like, "Where the f is Omar?" I'm like, "Omar, such and such is calling you. Please call him back so he can stop calling y'all. Stop calling me." He's like, "I ain't talking to the MF because I tried to tell him this. He don't want to listen." Okay, well, what that got to do with me? That's my fault. Y'all go over there with that, okay? But my point is that we got to work. We got to learn to work together, and that's the whole point of Black Women Heal. Safe spaces, y'all. We can talk bougie, or we can talk clatchet. What you want? What you need tonight, friend? What do we need tonight?
Right.
Whatever it is, that's what we're going to be for that night. That's why every episode you get the same vibe, but it's a different vibe, if that makes sense. You see what I'm saying? Just depending on what we're going through and all the other stuff like that. So, like Cheyenne said, since
multi-dimensional people,
right?
We're not living in the box that you put us in.
There's no boxes here unless we packing to go to a trip or something. We take a box of stuff. I don't know, bag of tricks,
catch flights,
like that. Yeah.
Each person gets a different version of you depending on who they are.
Yeah.
It's natural.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. I think we got to stop being so hard on one another. Like we criticize each other more than just as bad as the white man criticizes us. That's why you hear people say, "Well, I can't do business with other Black folk because they ain't ever this. And that might be so. But remember, we had all of our business burned down and the owners of those places lynched in a tree. So all of the people that could have taught us about business and how to do things correctly, they're gone.
Like Kanye say, they made us hate ourselves and love their wealth.
Boom.
That part.
Miss that Kanye. You hear me?
Me
That was the
too.
Kanye.
It's an agenda out here.
Just
Hidden
like
agendas from the jump, and they do that with Native people. But the difference between Native people and Black people is that they have received their reparations. Even Jewish brothers and sisters have received their reparations for the Holocaust. Black people have not received no reparations for the 300-400 years of slavery. Okay,
they love our culture but hate us.
Hate us.
Okay, we built that White House that they sit in.
Because guess what? That culture
we built this country.
Money.
We built this country.
That toothpaste you put in your mouth every morning, friend, that was created by a Black man.
The traffic light, the heart surgery. Toilet. Look, the heart surgery.
We can go on and on all night about these things.
Come on with the game.
There's so much power in us, but the problem is that
go ahead. The power is in the numbers, but
and the inner workings of the light bulb. So it wasn't just Thomas Edison.
Yeah.
It was in the inside, the inner workings of the light bulb was created by a Black man.
The engineering of that light bulb, right? So before this, y'all, we was kings and queens, y'all. So y'all, we be throwing around that king shit, that queen shit all the time. My baby, I forgot he was here, y'all. We be throwing around king and
like
queen.
me now,
right?
Like me around the babies.
He ain't even listening to me. Thank goodness.
Get out the room.
Good.
So we be throwing around calling each other king and queen and stuff like that, but we've been that since the beginning of time.
In that.
We've been that.
Kings and queens in Europe. Hold up, I'm about to put y'all onto a book.
Y'all.
On Amazon. I done bought a good review on this book. This is like life changing. I'm glad you brought this up.
Put it in the group chat. So I can put it in the link for the.
The link will be in the description, y'all. Like straight up. I put a couple of Uber drivers on. They be like, "Oh my gosh, yo!" And
Actually, I think I know what book you're talking about, because there are pieces of art that some have never seen, where there are European rulers bowing down
to the Moors.
Yep, there it is.
Mm-hmm.
And they got pictures. The book I'm talking about got pictures too, and you can get it on Kindle.
Yes.
Look, you get it on Kindle, or you can get it however you like to.
Put that in the group chat.
Man,
put it in, baby.
Yes, I love that kind of stuff, because when Omar go to school or when he doing his lessons, I could read while he doing his stuff on the computer when I'm homeschooling and stuff. But so yeah, you guys. So like, has there ever been a time where you guys have felt the pressure of society, and especially the strong Black woman narrative? Have you ever felt like, as an adult, there have been times, whether it was work or business, where it's just like it's been too much and you just like, daggone, I need a minute. This is why I need my spiritual ish, because if I didn't have that, if I didn't have God, if I didn't have something to hold on to, this would just be too much. And one thing I'll say, this, it's a little off topic, but it kind of it's kind of in line with what we're talking about, and that's this whole Brazilian butt lift, this BBL stuff going on right now that's really bothering me. And this is not just young girls doing it. This is women in their 30s going back and doing it, and women in their 40s doing it. Now, if you've been a mom and you've gone through some things, or you've been through cancer, or whatever your situation is, and you just feel like you just want to do and do, that's fine. You don't have to do it, queen. You really don't. I understand when people who have been severely overweight and they get surgeries to, take the extra skin off. We're not talking about that kind of stuff. We're talking about people with perfectly fine bodies in their 20s going to get surgery to increase their buttocks and remove stomach fat. Haven't even given themselves a chance to become mothers or anything, to experience life as a woman in your own body, like just stuff like that. Like, has there been times where you felt pressure to change your outward appearance, or how you behave and speak, because you're just so tired of everybody telling you, well, you do this, you need to be more this way, or something like that? Or how does it affect you emotionally and mentally? Have you had any emotional or mental negative things that you've had to deal with based on societal pressures?
That has become like, you don't forget where you've come from. You just don't, especially when it comes to dealing with like body issues. And I think I touched based on this a couple episodes back, when
probably low self-esteem or something. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the low self-esteem and about body image. My sister, she was the track star. She was fit, everything, tall. My brother was the same, and then there's me. So lost me. to a certain degree. Like I looked at myself and I was too busy focusing. And I think one of the shows that I was actually watching that used to come on all the time, I'm not going to sit here and give them free advertisement. I'm just not going to do that. It comes after the letter D. If you know it, you guys know exactly which one I'm talking about. And they talked about the celebrities and this outfit with this designer, and me being very impressionable and looking. It's like, I want to wear something like that. And I kept having that imagery in my head. So when I started losing my weight, I looked good, but I didn't feel good in the inside. Like my mom was happy that I had, lost weight and stuff, but I wasn't happy. I was miserable because I didn't look like me. I'm used to me with the chubby cheeks and dimples and stuff. I didn't look like me. I didn't feel like me. I wasn't happy at home. I wasn't happy at school. I don't care how many compliments people used to give me. I was not happy. So I purposely gained weight back. Like, I wanted to feel like me. Why should I have to change to appease anybody else besides me? And my ass, I started to rebel in a whole different way until I was, in a way, satisfied. But it wasn't until I became older and was able to be like, you know what, I live alone, this, that. I'm going to do how I do in a way that I want. Because, my mom, she's nurse. Look, she the nurse. And, you don't want to get hypertension. You don't get diabetes and be diabolical, as she likes to say it. But then every now and then you get diabetes as on the commercial on TV. So, but every now and then, when I go to eat something that I want, she'll say something, and I'll be like, pause. This is what we're not about to do. And I let her know in a very loving way. You gave me a complex growing up that I had to work through to get to where I am today. So please, with all due respect, don't start your shit. Okay? And she understands. So it can be detrimental to anybody's mental health, whether you're in high school, whether you're in college, because in a way you still have a parent, a friend, whoever in the back of your head telling you, Black girl, you can't do this. Black girl, you can't eat this. You can't, nope, don't do that. Don't say that. No, F all of that. I'm going to take up as much space as I want. If I got to be as big as a blueberry girl on Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, I don't give a damn. I'm going to do it. If you don't like it, you got two options: like it or nothing.
I just get tired of it. Like when that whole review came up, I was just like, yo, I'm so tired of telling me my entire life what I can't do, what I can't say. I'm too loud. I'm too passionate, too opinionated.
You took the words out of my mouth, because I feel like I get that label at work as the angry person, because I'm very outspoken. My opinions and my beliefs don't coincide with a lot of people. I'm very spiritual. I'm surrounded by people that's very religious. Our beliefs don't match up. I'm very outspoken. And, people tend to give you that label. I'm very passionate when I speak as well. It doesn't mean that I'm angry. I just have a strong belief in what I'm saying, whether or not you hold the same beliefs or opinions, and then I guess that gets you labeled as being angry because of the outspokenness and the unwillingness to succumb to other people's belief. Like, this is what I believe in, and you're not going to change my mind. You're not going to box me in.
And a lot of times I feel like our Latino sisters and brothers get the same stereotypes that we do. I feel like they get a lot of the same things that we get stereotyped for us too. Because remember when Cardi B got big, people were saying, oh, she's just some loudmouth, opinionated brown girl, Dominican girl. You know what I mean? And they get a lot of the same stereotypes we do. They get the spicy Latina stereotype. You know, every time somebody, oh, she's a Latina, spicy. You know what I'm saying? Like all of that dumb stuff. And they get over sexualized the same way too. And so do Native women, indigenous women too. And it's just unfortunate that a lot of the bad things that happen in the indigenous community is not displayed in the media. Like they try to hide what's happening and the killing of the people that's still happening. Sorry, you guys. Y'all know we moms on this podcast. So he's in here playing Roblox and stuff. But, you know, I just feel like as a whole, the most privileged woman in America is the white woman. She can say and do whatever she wants to say because that white man is going to defend her. She's going to have a safe space to go to and talk her shit. This is our space, you guys. That's why that comment really ruffled me. This is our space. What are you talking about?
Right.
What did you say?
Tell us how to do our space.
That's what we say in the DMV. What is you talking about? What are you fucking is, dummy? What
and if you don't like it, don't listen. It's not for you.
You tripping.
We for who we for. This is what it is.
But we say none of that toxic shit over here.
Nope.
That part.
But if you like it, hit that bell and subscribe below, YouTubers.
So listen, you guys, why y'all think white people don't want to fix it? They always say, look, we didn't create it. Our ancestors did. We didn't do it. Okay, but you still benefit from it. Y'all think there's a reason as to why they don't want to fix it?
Take a lot of work.
They want to lose their sense of power, control, position. Because you know what, Black folks, if we all come together.
I've been saying that.
Yep. If we all come together, do you know how much stuff would change? But we could bring back all those damn towns, and I posted it on Facebook. All those drowned towns. I may have to share the link. We got all these. It was a new lake. Yeah, it's called that. There was a whole Black community underneath all that damn water. Black Wall Street, Central Park. We gonna tell you, things gonna get overturned, and it's gonna happen. But we just have to be more consciously aware and come together as a collective to go do this shit. You know, it's just like it reminds me of the movie, and I've said it before, you know, The Bug's Life. Yeah. I love that movie. He said, the grasshopper says, if they figure out there's more of them than us, there goes our food supply, our way of life. If you've never seen Bug's Life, go take a look. It is really showing life just in a whole different way.
I kind of wanted to piggyback off of what Mo said with, you know, white men sticking up for white women. I think that's the problem in the Black community, which is why a lot of Black women especially have a problem with this specific platform that I'm not going to name. You know, it's not what is being said. It's, you know, the way it's being said. And when you're coming to somebody with information in an unloving, demeaning way, it's going to be received that way. If you want to, you know, lift Black women up and show them the error in their ways, there's a right and a wrong way to do so, but to place them on a public platform and demean them in front of all these different groups of people, it's disgusting. And I think that's the problem a lot of people have. It's not what is being said, it is how it's being said and the way in which it's being done.
I kind of feel like that platform, he's taken on the approach of the father figure. And that's why that's been his excuse in the past is I'm the father, I'm the uncle. That's why he called himself the Godfather. He don't want to call himself a father. He just calls himself the Godfather because he's going to come to you the way your father would, your uncle would, or other male figure. Because the way he talks is the way my dad talked. I told y'all my dad was a little mean.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And he was the same way, very direct, very forward, without emotion. Look, you too effing loud. Girls ain't supposed to be this loud. That's Black girl, you can't do that. You too loud. Bring it down a notch. This is literally, and my dad comes from a different time. He was born in the 40s. And so girls weren't loud back then. They weren't supposed to be. seen and not effing heard unless you were asked to talk. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, again, the same thing.
But like I said, it's not necessarily like we could all agree that some of the information is valid information. Again, it's the way the information is being presented. You know, you could say things in a loving way. The way it comes off is not in a loving way, and it's not received well by the majority of the people. Now, if it was just a small percentage of a group that's saying, oh, we don't agree, we don't like it, it's different. But as a collective, a large collective, you know, a lot of the Black men, they love it because I guess he's saying a lot of things they want to say. However, there's a right and a wrong way to present information if you want it to be received well.
I think the other thing that contributes to that, Cheyenne, too, is from what you're saying, is that it's public. And that's what really bothers people.
Yeah.
Is that it's public. He's doing it publicly. It's not like it's on his private group that he has or his Patreon private group. You know what I mean? It's publicly on YouTube where he's doing these things.
I just feel like we make a clown out of each other in front of all these other races that will never do that to each other. They don't do it to each other, and it's disgusting. You know,
when they do it to each other, they get their ish together.
Yeah.
Sheena, what's that link you sent me?
But how often do you see that though? It's mainly in the Black community. It's mainly in the Black community. Like we're always putting each other down, and again, that's created by design, you know. But a lot of us just aren't able to see it.
Yeah. Well, like you said, though, we've been put against one another tactically and strategically, dating back to slavery. Because when you think about the bucks, what they call bucks, when the guys would fight each other and the white men, the slave owners would basically gamble against one another from plantation to plantation about which of their slave men, their biggest men, the most muscular men would fight and wrestle each other. It was called bucking. They were called bucks. And so I think it dates back to that, why it's so deeply ingrained in us, because they wouldn't get rewarded through monetization, even though they were getting paid pennies. They would get rewarded for not being beat up or put out in the field the next day. You know, they get a day off or something like that, you know. And it's always this, like we were saying one episode a long time ago, maybe between the first 10 episodes, where we were talking about how like it's always this white savior. And I think we were talking about the Disney movies, how the savior is always the white character, and what that does to Black girls and what that does to girls in general, and who they feel like their heroes are, and who they feel. How is it that little Black girls feel more safe with a white officer or a white man at school that's a teacher than they do their own fathers?
Yeah, that's wild.
And we'll run to them before they do a Black man in the same position. You know, we are made to see each other as villains. You know what I mean? And so the issue is deep, you guys. The issue is really deep. And my next question was going to be, how can we as a collective do better? But Cheyenne has already touched on half of that, and that's just speaking to each other and having compassion with each other with love.
Yeah, keeping in mind that we are people. You know, just start valuing each other more. Also, I would like to say on a positive note, I have been seeing, you know, more of Black excellence coming together and being, you know, united, doing positive things, making moves together. I have been seeing a lot more of that together. I've been seeing videos of Black men, you know, standing up for Black women. Um, so I do feel like it's a change coming. We just need to work harder at it, you know, get more of that type of stuff out there on social media instead of the negative stuff. So everybody can, you know, jump on the bandwagon.
And then teaching our sons.
Just gotta work harder to do it. That part. Teaching
our sons.
The right thing. Yeah. Not enabling them, but teaching them.
Yeah. And stop having babies for these men. No shame, Sheena, or nobody on the line. Stop having babies for these men that y'all don't see a life with, but a future with.
Right. Because I don't recommend it. I don't recommend having a baby and having a broken home. I know all about that. It's hard. Like sometimes, you know, I'm sure we want to kill each other, but you know, and some people can't even get to that point where they can even communicate with each other. Or one parent might not really be in the kid's life, like it's lopsided. So I would never ever recommend having a kid and it being in a broken home. It's much harder. It's already hard enough. Like you
It's hard
adding
being in the same
more to
household
the
with a
pot.
man and raising these kids
Yeah, yeah, it
because men
is.
see things differently than we do. You know,
Yep, they
mother
have
sees something
different parenting
differently than
skills.
yeah, like they have way different parenting skills. You know, one
Mm-hmm.
might be like in my household, I'm the more strict one. And that's just because of my personality. You know what I'm saying? And my husband's a
Right.
Cancer, he's more nurturing. So, you know, just like here's the thing, you guys, the shit is hard when you're doing it together. You think
Yeah.
it's gonna be easy, but you're doing it by yourself just because you won't have nobody else in your life to talk to and communicate with? No, it's harder. It's harder. I've seen too much of it. I've seen people go through it over and over again. It does not work for the better.
Right.
It doesn't. If you can't see a future with this person, if you can't see them being somebody that you would marry, then why are you giving birth and bringing life through your womb for this person? When these men tell you they're not ready to be fathers, they not ready.
Believe him.
The
Pretty soon,
first time.
it look like we're not even gonna have the freedom of choice.
Right, with Texas. What they doing down there? Listen.
But that's a whole nother.
Yeah.
Another episode.
If I go missing, you guys, just know I'm out in the mountains somewhere. Living remotely.
Okay.
I send
You're
y'all an
going
email.
off the grid.
Yeah, I send y'all an email with my internet up and we can continue recording because the way this is set up here. Sorry, you guys.
But
You know, but yeah. We got a lot of work to do, you guys.
a
And
whole lot. We're
I hope
behind
this
the 8 ball.
we way behind, you guys. Like we are so
Yeah.
far behind.
There are power in numbers.
Even if you don't even have to agree to just if you just come together and disagree. It's better to come together.
That's the biggest part of the battle is coming together.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, like you have to, I don't understand like how it's not clear to people. Like even in entertainment, these rappers, it's okay when you talking about killing each other, you know, bitch this, bitch that. But the minute you talk about something else or another culture of people,
Right.
you done overstepped your boundaries now. But why is it okay that we could talk about killing each other and that's okay and that's acceptable to society?
Mm-hmm.
That's what they want us to do.
It shows how much they value our lives.
They want us to kill each other.
People don't understand there are powers in numbers. Like all we need to do is come together, wake up.
Yeah.
Like wake up.
Yep, this is like Spike Lee movie. At the end of the movie, he was like, "Wake up,
wake up!" Yeah,
yeah.
It's
I
like
wasn't even born yet when that first came out.
And my thing is,
That's
even
classic.
if we fuck up, right? Even if we fuck up, like sometimes the Black community they tend to just talk about the person.
It's crabs in the barrel mentality.
But my thing is, why don't someone like say if it's a entrepreneur that fucks up, okay? She might have made the wrong move or he made the wrong move, and it kind of went viral. Instead of you beating that person up, picking them apart, and keep on spreading it around, why don't someone from that community that's within that business scope or that type of environment help that person out instead and say, here, this is what you did wrong, this is how you do this right, whether they want to do it pro bono, whether they want a little fee. But why don't us as Black people, why don't we
because
ever
it's not
have
part
that
of the
type of
agenda.
mindset instead of like beating each other up? And
because we don't have the mindset to help one another.
Exactly.
No, why we too as a people we too
always
jealous.
trying to walk
but it's
over
not
one another.
Not only the jealousy, but
go ahead, Cheyenne. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, but not only the jealousy, but a lot of times, like, people sit back and they're like, well, why don't these celebrities speak up? Because when some of these celebrities do put themselves on the forefront and they
look what happened.
Listen, you hang them out to dry. So nobody
happens.
wants to put a foot forward and stand up for the culture because we don't stand behind them.
Right.
Y'all canceling them.
We joke.
Right.
We
Y'all
joke
canceling
the
them.
culture. The culture is cancel culture.
Exactly. We don't stand behind them. So why would I put myself on Front Street when I know my people are not even gonna have my back?
And a perfect example of that is Chrisette Michelle. She can't come to save her life. No disrespect, Chrisette. I would love to see you make her come back, but she's been canceled due to rocking with 45.
Yeah,
but guess
she took
who
that
else?
200,000 and was like, "I'm getting this money today," and they canceled
But guess
her.
who else?
Who
rocked with 45 and is excelling?
Kanye.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's like a double standard. Back to that.
But they cut him too, though,
negative
Ashley. Though
because
remember,
she's a
though,
black woman.
but remember, though, black
it
people
don't
were still
matter. It hasn't
canceling him for
affected
that
his
too as well.
wallet.
Because you know why?
It hasn't
Because
affected
you know
his
why?
wallet. It
He a
has
man.
affected Chrisette's wallet.
Yeah.
She
But you guess
is
what?
no longer
She
in
can't
the
perform.
mix.
Mm-mm.
Exactly.
But guess what, though?
But it's
Kanye got enough
same
men
shit.
behind him, whether they are black or white. That's the difference between being a man and a woman. Because you could be a woman and the same happened to you as Chris said, but then like Ashley said with Kanye, it happened to him and he's still thriving and he came back, right? And he's still thriving now.
A couple of times since she's been canceled.
Right. Because men gonna always hold each other down if they F with each other. If they F with you, they F with you. And they're gonna hold you down.
Right.
So guess what, black girl? You need to get your ish together. You need to connect with some strong, positive, high vibrational sisters.
Exactly.
I don't care if they black. I don't care if they white. I don't care
whatever
if
they
Latina.
are.
Whatever they are, whoever spirit leads and guides you.
Connects
See, here's the
you.
thing, you guys.
Find your
We got to start
tribe.
praying for discernment again. We not praying enough for discernment. We not. Because we supposed to be spiritual people using our third eye, using our Bible scriptures, using all of our tools, our crystals, our healing crystals, our plants, our energy with one another. And we not doing something right because we getting burned way too often.
Yeah. We still ain't coming back.
And we need more black owned businesses with black women coming together the same way black men do it with each other, the same way white men. Look at 85 South. 4 brothers came together. 6 years have done it. I know they didn't cuss each other out many times. We cuss each other out one time and we ready to be out.
Listen, black people just don't stick together. Listen, when they had that whole controversy with Gucci, listen, they boycotted Gucci for a hot 2 seconds and then they were right back at it. Black people are the largest consumers. Can you imagine what will happen if we get together because there's power in numbers and we all boycott Gucci? Listen, stock is gonna go down.
In the month of August, it was Black Entrepreneurial Month. I sent out 2 links on Facebook and probably got all of 5 likes between both posts of luxury black owned brands, whether they were from the US, the UK, and or Africa, or the Caribbean freaking islands, or South America. But all of the businesses were owned by black people with African roots. Luxury brands, you guys, that have been on the runway, 30 of them. And none of them posts got no love. Because I was calling people, I was like, okay, so y'all for the culture, right? It's Black Entrepreneurial Month. Next time you go click to go get some Gucci, why don't you go over here and get this right here from this brother or this sister from over here? And they were people from all over the world. They weren't just people from the US who had built luxury brands. They were people from Africa too, with Afrocentric designs. Lovely stuff. Even see, I guess unless I'm Beyonce, it don't effing matter. Because Beyonce just posted up Telfair the other week and the shit, they've been sold out for 2 weeks. You can't get a Telfair bag for $250 right now. It's sold out. But if me, an everyday woman, come to you and be like, look, sis, you rocking all this Louis and this Gucci, but what you doing for the culture? Because that's me.
People are so consumed.
I didn't see it. So
Ashley, I ain't even worried about you, Ashley, because I know you'll get online in a minute and do what you got to do. I'm not even calling out nobody on this line. I'm calling out these people who I know.
I want to see it because I definitely, you got my interest. Damn,
they go on Facebook, Ashley, and they take these pictures with this opening the Gucci bag, opening the Louis Vuitton bag, and all this dumb stuff.
Oh, I don't follow silly
you
people.
You see what I'm
like
saying
that.
like that? And they literally, I have watched people literally do it within the last 2 months, and they won't even spend a dime.
Well, I probably do follow them, and they just, I don't see it because I ain't been on it.
But you're not on there like that. You know what I'm saying? It's
right.
Like it always happens
I probably
to
just
me.
don't see it.
It always happens to me. You know what I'm saying? I feel like when I'm thinking about something, stuff always comes up in Facebook. Like Facebook in my brain at this point. You see what I'm saying? So like I'll be thinking about like, dang, I want to get a purse, but I don't want to rock what everybody else rocking. Y'all know me. I ain't never get nothing that nobody else is doing out here, okay?
Right.
And so I'm like, so I got online. I'm like, let me look at some luxury name brands by Black people. Omar come ask me what I want for my birthday this year. That's what I'm going to send him to right here. You know what I'm saying? Being silly. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm being silly. But you know what I'm saying? Just the point is that we would rather go spend the money on these. And I blame entertainers because Black people are the largest entertainers in America. And we and Black entertainers have the most power. But they continuously support these brands that were not made by us, that were not made for us. Just stop.
They don't have the most power when you're being controlled, because although you have a certain amount of popularity and you're well known, they still can't say what they want to do. They can't say what they want to say. They can't do what. Look at old boy that got canceled. I don't want to be a millionaire.
I don't want to be a millionaire.
You can't, because once you step into a certain tax bracket, you are controlled. You cannot say what you want to say. You are controlled.
Well,
so next time you fix your mouth to say that we ghetto, no, this earth is ghetto as fuck.
Been ghetto.
Okay.
Been. How y'all gonna call us ghetto when white people went all the way to Africa to get some people to work the land, and they had their own indentured servants that they brought back from Europe, but they wanted to go get somebody else's shit.
They skin could have never tolerated that type of treatment.
We know that.
Already know.
Okay.
We know that.
The rabbit hole.
Can you imagine?
No, they get skin cancer for less. No,
way less.
And I'm not trying to be
why you
statistics, as y'all like to say.
Listen, why you think they trying to figure out ways how to block the sun?
Right.
Facts.
Mm-hmm. Because they come from the Caucasus Mountains.
And there's actually
yeah, just go ahead. We talk about it later. It's okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So let us know how y'all feel, family.
Bell and subscribe.
Yes. And if you want all that exclusive shit, follow us on Patreon.
Boom.
Yes, and we're gonna try to get one of them green rooms popping. I want to get that green room popping, y'all. So if anybody's interested in the green room,
let us know. If not, we'll get Patreon popping for you guys. That we can talk our ish unapologetically. Okay.
Yes.
And if Patreon try to shut us down, guess what? We can get us a little website with our own little membership. Okay. But it's exclusive only, you guys. And let us know. Tag us on Instagram. Let us know about what episodes you like the most, what resonates with you the most.
It's gonna come with merch and everything, that Patreon.
Yeah.
So load up and lock and load to get ready. Take your time and comment and let us know if you're ready to go with us so that we can map out that part of the plan for you.
Well, send us an email. Just communicate with us so we know what you want.
Tap in.
I mean, like, we're going to always stay true to our core and what the vision was, but it's okay, friend. Let us know what you want.
What you know
what I'm saying? It's not
like,
just
it's not
a one-way thing.
It's
a two-way thing. You know
what
what I mean?
Platforms are y'all on?
What y'all doing? Let us know. Let us know. We really want to know. We really want to know, because the year's almost over, and then we need to plan for 2022.
Exactly.
And we need to decide, and we need to
want to do it
that y'all still want us around.
That's right.
Okay. That's all we're trying to say. And we appreciate you guys for all the downloads, for all the listens, for all the shares that you do privately.
For the love.
And for the love. And continuously tuning in.
Kisses.
So y'all know where to find us. Black Women Hill Show on all the platforms, you guys. Facebook.
All
TikTok.
Black
Women Hill
in
Show.
all the damn lanes.
Yes. All the links, and make sure you tap today's show notes so that you can get into these links that we share today about these different studies about us and how we maneuver through society. And if this episode resonates with us, tag us, screenshot and tag us on Instagram. so we can repost.
If you didn't, go listen to somebody else. And thanks for listening all the way to the end, friend.
Yes.
Just had to throw that in.
That part.
The haters that listen to the whole show and want to comment. Thank you. We do appreciate it.
And yeah, keep them letters coming.
Keep them reviews coming in Apple, iTunes, everywhere. Make sure you following us and subscribe, like Ashley said. Whether you like us or dislike us, it might be something else we say that you like. You may not like this episode, friend, but maybe there's something else friend, that you'll
it's a
like.
different one.
Thank you, friend. We
right, it's 5 of us. We gotta resonate with somebody.
Yeah, we resonate with everybody. They don't want to admit it though.
Exactly. No, I know we do. And shouts out to Italy. Look, Dubai. Italy. Just speaking Dubai into existence.
She's gonna put Dubai in. She's trying to get to go on.
It was like number 57. They was number 57 on the list.
Sorry, 57. But again, thank you, Texas. Thank you, Atlanta. Thank you, Maryland, our home with the crab. You know, we love our crab legs.
The South with the Southern love.
And Illinois. We thank y'all.
Thank y'all.
Thanks.
Love you, baby.
Yes.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.